Dear children, welcome to my YouTube channel National Children's Science Congress by Dr. Vijay Kumar. I am State Academic Coordinator UP East. Most of you are asking question, what is hypothesis? How it is framed? How to frame good hypothesis? In this video I am going to explain what is hypothesis and how to frame good hypothesis. So let's start with a question, what is hypothesis? In short, it is an assumption, or you can say it is a testable statement of what is your research prediction or what will be the outcome of your research. In other words, a hypothesis states your prediction about what your research will find. You can also define hypothesis as a statement that introduces a research question and proposes an expected results. There are two ways to frame a hypothesis. In research, you can frame or write hypothesis in two forms. Number one, the null hypothesis, and number two, the alternative hypothesis. The null hypothesis is a negative statement to support the researcher's finding that there is no relationship between the two variables. In the alternative hypothesis, it states that there is relationship between the two variables, that is independent variable and dependent variable. Then the question arises, what is independent variable and what is dependent variable? Independent variables are the one that are manipulated, controlled or changed, while dependent variables are influenced by the change in independent variables. So now come to the topic, what are the characteristics of a good hypothesis? A good hypothesis should be specific. A good hypothesis should be a testable prediction about what you expect to happen in a study. A good hypothesis is a good research hypothesis involves more effort than just a guess. Your hypothesis may begin with a question that could be further explored through background research. If you prepared or you are going to prepare a hypothesis, you must go through the checklist of hypothesis. To formulate a promising research hypothesis, you should ask yourself these following questions. Is the language clear and focused? Does it shows the relationship with the research topic? Is your hypothesis is testable? If yes, then how? Is your research simple and concise? Avoids wordiness. Is your research observable and testable results? Is it relevant and specific to the research question or problem? Does your hypothesis include both an independent and dependent variable? When you satisfy with these checklist points, then start developing hypothesis. How to start developing hypothesis? Ask a question. The question should be focused, specific and researchable within the constraints of your project. Do some preliminary research. At this stage, you might construct a conceptual framework. Formulate your hypothesis. Now you have some idea of what you expect to find. Refine your hypothesis. You need to make sure your hypothesis is specific and testable. Phrase your hypothesis. To identify the variables, you can write a simple prediction. If In if then form, the first part of the sentence states the independent variable and the second part states the dependent variable. How? Explained next. While a null hypothesis, if your research involves statistical hypothesis testing, you will also have a right you have also have to write a null hypothesis. There are some examples. There are some examples of research question, and then on the basis of this research question how to frame hypothesis and how to frame null hypothesis. The first research question is, what are health benefits of doing yoga? You may frame a hypothesis, yoga will decrease the frequency of doctor visit. You may also frame a null hypothesis, yoga will have no effect on the frequency of doctor visits. So that's how you can frame hypothesis and null hypothesis. Second research question, what effect does daily use of social media have on the attention span of children under 19 years or 18 years? There is a negative correlation between time spent on social media and attention span under 18 years. The negative hypothesis may be framed as, there is no relationship between the time spent on social media and attention span on children under 18 years. Research question number third, or you can say it is the third example. What is the effect of junk food independent variable on the weight variable dependent on children of under 18 years? There is a negative correlation between junk food on the weight of under 18-year teens. There is no relationship between junk food and weight of under 18 years teen. Maybe your null hypothesis. Fourth research question, the brick factory in a region, independent variable, increases risk of respiratory diseases. It's a dependent variable. You may frame a hypothesis as the brick factory in a region increases risk of respiratory diseases. The null hypothesis may be framed as, the brick factory in a region may not increase risk of respiratory diseases. When you start framing hypothesis or you completed the task, then you may also understand the importance of testable hypothesis. The testable hypothesis should be testable to meet following criteria. There must be a possibility to prove that hypothesis is true. There must be a possibility to prove that hypothesis is false. The result of the hypothesis must be reproducible. So, without these criteria, the hypothesis and results will not be clear or definite. As a result, the experiment will not prove or disprove anything significant. So children's, that's how you can frame a good hypothesis. Hopefully you may learn or you will frame a good hypothesis. For watching more or to learn more about National Children's Science Congress, subscribe my YouTube channel to get notification and to learn about NCSC. My YouTube channel is National Children's Science Congress by Dr. Vijay Kumar. Thank you very much.